one, I kind of want to go over something that I was thinking about, but also two, towards the end, I want to hear your guys' pitch and how you guys overcome certain objections. And it'll just be, good practice to get the marbles out of our mouth. You know what? Let's start with that, and then we'll end with the mental. Okay? So because there's some people in this company that are really top dog closers, right? They're really, really excellent at closing people. And for us that are, in the different stages in the sales game, we might learn a thing or two from hearing how a different person overcomes an objection, right? So let's start off with that, and then I'll end it with the mental meeting. So let's see who we got here. So I know Dre, I know you're one of like the top closers in the company, man. I want to hear how you overcome a certain objection. So let's say, you're presenting to a customer, and you went over the information with them, and they tell you, let me think about it. How do you personally overcome the objection? And ladies and gentlemen, first of all, this is Dr. Dre that's about to speak, so he's about to put us on game, so you all better be taking notes. All right, go Dre. Let me think about it.
Yeah, man. Well, you know what? Was there something that I went over that I spoke a little too fast? I know sometimes when I get excited, I do speak a little too fast, and I do tend to go over a few things a little rapidly. But was there a question that you had for me that you wanted me to go over again? Was it the separate billing, or what was the situation for you?
Oh, okay. Man, that was good. Okay, I appreciate that. So, yeah, so I don't know whoever typed that in, uncovering the real, who did that? Uncovering the real problem. Who's to that? That was Andy. Yeah, Andy's an expert, man. That is for sure. When a customer tells me or anybody, let me think about it, that's not really an objection, man. There's something that they're not telling you. There's something that they are not telling you, and you gotta find out what that is, right? So I would try my hardest to go over it again, and like Dre said, man, what is it you want to think about? Once you uncover what the real problem is, now you know what's addressed. But if you take it at face value and they say, let me think about it, and you're like, oh, okay, I'll let you think of you're not gonna get a sale like that. Okay, let's see it from a different person perspective. Let's see. So who else we got here? Travis, man, I know you're one of the good closers in the company too, man. So I want to hear how you overcome this objection, Travis. Let me think about it.
Usually, mine's a bit like Dre's, but I'll tell the customer, usually when people tell me that they want to think about it means they still have questions. Then I go back to as Dre said, is there anything I didn't go over, I may have gone over too quickly, something you have questions about or you're unsure about? So that way I can help you come to an understanding.
Okay, right on.
Hey, G, can I chime in here?
That was just about to pick on you guys. Go ahead.
Yeah, so this is actually one of my favorite objections because I'm usually pretty straight up with the customer because I know that, I would say 9 times out of 10, they're just smoke screening, right? So I'll just straight up ask them, what do you need to think about, right? Is there something that I didn't really clarify or anything like that? And then I actually had a customer where they were like, oh, let me think about it. I'll call you on Monday or anything like that. And, we can go from there. And I told them, I was like, ma'am, what's going to be the difference in your thoughts from today, from the weekend to Monday? From our personal one-on-one conversation, I was just trying to call her BS, right? I was just like, okay, what's going to be the difference? Is there something that you are not understanding that you need to actually take 3 days to think about? Because 3 days is a long time, right? So I was just telling her, what's going to be the difference between today and Monday? I'm like, I'm here, I'm right in front of you, right? If you do have any questions, I'm here to answer them, right? That's why I'm here with you. So if we do the deal today, right, you can definitely understand 100% where you're coming from, where I'm coming from, right? That way, in between those 3 days, you don't have any assumptions or you don't have anything else that, you feel is going to be, happening or anything like that. So I just tell them straight up, what's going to be the difference from today to that day, or, etc.
What a closer. No wonder you're closing so many deals, Isaac. For sure. What's interesting? You and me overcome that objection very similarly. Sometimes they'll tell you oh, let me think about it till tomorrow, or, so I'll tell them, this is what I do. I'll tell them look, you're not going to tell me a different answer tomorrow, or the next week, or even if you need 3 months to think about it, it's going to be the same answer. So why don't you, like, if it's no, let me know now. But let me do this for you. If we do it today, I'll make it $10 cheaper. I'll kind of like rebuttal it by making the offer a little bit sweeter to make them take action on it today. There's different ways to skin a cat. There's not one that's right and one that's wrong. There's only stuff that works. So for us that are learning, let's make sure that we take these notes and just put it in our pocket. Now, there's one more that I want us to go over real quick. I don't want DirecTV, okay? And let's pretend it's an AT&T customer, and they say, I don't want DirecTV. Now, let's ask, who's that? Travis?
Yeah, I thought you were going to give that objection. I was going to overcome that.
Go ahead, Travis.
It's okay. Usually when customers tell me they don't want DirecTV, I'm like, that's fine, Mr. Customer. You don't need to get the service. It's just included. You don't have to use it. It needs to be installed. That way we can give you guys the discounts. It's the qualifier for the service. We can't lower the bill for you unless we include the service. I've had customers who get it installed, they put the receiver in a file cabinet and forget about it, but we lower their bill and ultimately they get the savings. So that's what they go about things.
Right on. You said the magic word right there, the qualifier. Right? That is something that I use too when I'm out there in the field. I make sure that they know it's the qualifier. Because if they're hitting you with that objection in their mind, they still are not understanding that they need DirecTV in order to either lower their bill, increase their speed, or however you want to present it to them. Cool. Right on. Ryan said, feel, felt, found. Ryan, do you have another way of overcoming it? Let's hear it.
Mr. Customer, I completely understand how you feel. My last customer actually felt the same way about the TV. But when they found out, the TV actually qualifies them to get more savings over a longer period of time. So I'm going to be able to hook you up with that same deal today. So press hard. 2 copies.
Okay, right on. Using feel, felt, found. I like feel, felt, found too. It works for sure. Thanks, Ryan. Now let's pick on somebody new. Let's pick on Sam Kamsa. So Sam, I want you to try to overcome this objection. Yeah, everything sounds good, man, but I don't want separate billing. With Spectrum, everything's on one bill. How would you overcome that?
Oh, I totally understand where you're coming from. A lot of our customers feel the same way. But, the 2 separate billings it has to be that way because there's 2 different companies. I'm sorry, I was stuttering a lot right there. But, I'm a little bit nervous. But basically, I was trying to use the feel, felt, found, understand, and then come to a solution with it. Like that there has to be 2 separate billings because there's technically the 2 companies were merging in the past. And yeah, I don't know.
Okay. That was good. You're off to a good start, man. I'll let you collect yourself for 5 seconds, all right? Breathe. Take a breathe. Take a deep breath with me. Let's go.
Do it again, Sam. You got it, baby.
Do it again, man.
Sam.
You got this. Yeah, man. Everything sounds good, but I don't do separate billings. With Spectrum, everything's on one bill. Go ahead, Sam.
I understand that, and the one billing would be nice, but honestly, there makes no difference with the two billings because you're still paying the same amount of money, and you'll qualify for the DirecTV with this offer, and your billing will actually be lower.
All right, man. Can I think about it?
Yeah, obviously you could take your time, but what would be the deciding factor right now if we can get to the bottom of it right now?
Man, it's just because with Spectrum, everything's on one bill. Last time I had separate billing with a different company, I got screwed up, man.
I see. I think I need some help, man.
So
I'm gonna be honest, I'm still learning, but
no problem. What would you do in the field, Sam? If this is happening and a customer gets you stumped, what would you do? How would you address it with the customer?
I don't know.
Okay, cool. So let me give you some ideas. When I'm new, I was new for like 2 years. All right, so I use it to my leverage, right? So Sam, when I get stuck like that, I was like, you know what, Mr. Customer, I really want to get the answer for you. Let me just call my supervisor and see what we can do. All right, then I call Gio. I was like, hey Gio, what am I gonna do? All right, And right, so here's what I would do. So the cool thing about the separate billing is this: if a customer have one bill, if one service is, if the bill is not paid, all the services shut off. Right now, the cool thing about this is, let's say they forget to pay one bill, let's say the DirecTV bill, the internet and phone is still on. That's more important, is it not? So let's show the benefit of why separate billing really works for them, right? So that's the benefit that they may not see. Having separate bills means that one service doesn't affect another. If you don't pay a bill for one thing, that's three things that's gonna shut off versus just one thing. So we found that separate billing helps customers because phone and internet is more important than TV sometimes, right? So that's something that you may not, most customers appreciate, right? Second thing is, if you want it for peace of mind so that you don't have to worry about it, no problem, we have auto pay. If you give me the credit card right now, I put it on auto pay, you don't have to worry about it.
Those are some pro tips right there. Right on. Thanks, Ken. Another thing, just Sam, I want you to keep this in mind, okay? Whenever you face objections in the field, if you make it sound like it's a big deal, they're gonna feel like it's a big deal. If you make it sound like it's not a big deal, it's nothing to worry about, then they're gonna feel like it's nothing to worry about, right? Like they're basing themselves off of your vibe, right? So when you're using Feel, Felt, Found, you know, you're on the right track. You were actually using it for a good part of it, right? You just gotta finish it off and make it sound like it's not a big deal. So let me just, how I would do it, right? I understand, Mr. Customer, how you feel about separate billing. And to be honest, a lot of different customers felt the same way at first. But what they found out is that it's actually the same price. It makes no difference. They just get two separate receipts, you know, so it's actually not a big deal. But anyways, what's a good day for you to install here? You know, did you see that? So I overcame the objection, I handled it, and then I proceeded to the next step of the sales process, right? So for those that are new, if you overcome an objection, you got to immediately proceed to the next step, right? One thing I learned in sales psychology is that customers will give objections because they want to slow things down. They don't want to feel like, you know, like an easy peasy lemon squeezy, you know, especially business owners. They want to feel like it's a good deal and they really thought about it. So by you overcoming their objection, you just step one. Now you got to proceed to the next step, right? So don't leave any pauses. This is something that when I'm training somebody one-on-one, I'll literally tell them when they're overcoming objections, immediately go to the next step, right? And they're not going to stop you. But if you leave a hanging pause, they're going to hit you with another objection, all right? So that's a pro tip. So let's do one more. Let's do one more because I want to see some more new people get some practice. Let's go with Dawson. Is that how you say your name? Dawson? Dasan?
Dasan, yeah, let's get it, bro.
Dasan. Hey, man, everything sounds good, but why is the first month so high?
The first month so high? Well, that's because that's due to the reason why. Okay, one moment. Let me just collect myself real quick. Let me get a quick breath real quick. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Okay. All right. So, the reason why it's so high, sir, is because it may seem as such, but believe me, I mean, everything comes off a certain way at first, you know. But all it takes is a little bit of explanations, you know what I mean, and understanding, and I can help you get to what you need to find out. So basically, the reason why it's so expensive is because I'm just installing this at the moment, but I'm gonna raise it down. See, look, hold on. Let's reverse that, guys. So I do need a little bit of help with this now because this is a different question now. So, all right. So being that this is a different question, how would I go about the first one being so expensive? Because as far as I know, it's supposed to be a little low, right? It's supposed to be lower. How would I go about that if they're like expensive? It's supposed to be better than most competitors, right?
Okay, I got you. All right, can anybody help out Dasan?
I got you.
No, other than Travis, somebody else.
Wait. I think I got it, guys. So wait, what if I said this? Guys, look, listen, customer. I know that it's very expensive, but keep this. Listen to me very, very clearly, sir. We are not a shared network. We are a faster network. We got fiber wire. So therefore, it'll be a better service overall. See, it may seem like it's a lot of money, but when it comes down to it, you're paying for the quality of service. That's what I would say. I think that's probably the route I would go.
Man, that sounds good. You kind of overturned it. Right on. All right. Does anybody else have a different way of overcoming that one?
Yeah, I got one for you, man.
Wait, hold on. I hear so many voices. Let me see. Raise your hand.
Gio, what's up?
Who's that?
That's Ricardo.
Oh, Ricardo. What's up? How would you do that?
So literally I explained to them that this is just the rate for the first month. The first month is the regular rate. The promotion happens right after the first month. So from the second month up until the 13th, you guys are on the promotional rate of, let's say if they get the standard package, I explained to them that it's the normal rate for the first month of $85, and then after the first month they go ahead and throw in the promotion. And then if they're a little skeptical, like I don't know about the first month kind of thing, whatever, I'll be like, look, what I can do for you is go ahead and offer you a referral and knock off an additional $10, so you'd be paying $15 a month for DirecTV. And then that's usually an incentive for them to be like, okay, all right, that's that sounds interesting. Okay, let's do it.
Right on. Okay, thanks, Ricardo. Good job, man. So,
hey, thanks, Ricardo. That really helped me out, brother.
Thank you guys for playing full out with me today. Really trying. So one thing I want you guys to understand is look, sometimes in the field you're gonna face objections and you're gonna say the wrong thing, and it's okay, right? You're learning. Every door is an opportunity for learning and increasing your knowledge, right? Eventually, you're gonna find something that really works for you. Right? Because I have an entirely different way of how I would overcome it. But whatever works for you, you're going to find your secret sauce. So don't feel discouraged just because right now you're getting stumped. I know right now we're in front of 35 different people. So it could feel a little nervous, being on camera. But, don't let that get to your head. Let's just keep going, and eventually you'll find your sauce. So thank you for that. Now, today my mental meeting was really, how can we maximize our opportunity when we're out there in the field? How can we really take the most out of the field, out of the opportunity that we have here at CMC, right? So let's talk about it. One, obviously going out there in the field and selling, right? By selling, you generate commission, right? You go out there, you sell, you get commission, right? Cool. But selling is actually step one. Step two is making sure that order gets installed, right? So for all of you that are new to the company, this is a very important thing. I need you guys to tattoo on your brain, okay? When you make a sale, it's important you make sure that it gets all the way through installation. Now, does anybody know how we can track our sales and make sure that they go through in this installation? All right, Brandon, what's up, Brandon? Thank you, Travis.
Anytime that you guys submit an order or whatever, and you think it's taking a little long, you guys haven't seen any messages from FastJam, go ahead and hop on FastJam. Usually there'll be a message in the log. Check that out, see what the holdup is. A lot of times it'll say right there, and whatever it is, then go ahead and give a call to the office. Call's a lot faster than typing back into the log saying what is necessary to move forward.
Right, yeah, so look at the action log and see what's holding up the order, right? So that's a good way to do it. So for those that are new and you don't know what the action log is, you should definitely ask your leader to help you clarify that today. So you want to go into FastJam and see, the details on the order. An alternative to looking at FastJam is you can also call the office, option number 4, and ask them what the deal is with your order. And they'll actually pull it up and then tell you if you need anything to do, for it to get installed. So that's very important, right? Because we have actually, one of the highest commission tiers available out there. So it's important that we get paid for our sales, right? We sell the customer. Now we got to manage the back end and get it installed, right? So that's step 1. So 2, how else can we maximize our opportunity out there in the field? We do road trips, right? A lot of us go out of town. We go to different states. I encourage you to actually go on that road trip. 3 things are going to happen. 1, you're going to get really focused. You're going to get really, really focused because the partner or the team leader that's out there is going to make sure that you guys are focused out there on making money, right? That's a beautiful thing. 2, the proximity of people you're going to be around is going to be awesome. Trust me, you want to be in proximity with people making a lot of money, because if you have 5 friends and they're all millionaires, guess what? You're probably going to be the next millionaire, right? very similarly, if you're in proximity with people that have the skill set of sales, the skill set of managing the business, the skill set of making six figures, like whatever it is, being around that, you're going to be the next one, right? Because you're learning from them. And then 3, you're going to be able to plant flags, right? Plant flags in the United States of America. Now, this is a little bit more advanced. This is for our more advanced, ambitious people. The United States, has, I think, 50 states, maybe one more now. But, we are able to do what we're doing here in other states, right? So I'm just planting seeds here. But if you could figure out how to build a market in a different state, that's a lot of money we're talking about. This isn't Chuck E. Cheese money we're talking about. This is not peanuts. This is freaking Guala, Rack City, baby. So, planting flags in other states can be a beautiful thing. That is something that this year I'm going to be taking on, and I think it's going to be very beautiful, very exciting. So I'm just planting seeds here. So how else can we maximize our opportunity out there in the field? We could create a follow-up sheet, okay? So I learned this on my journey of becoming a professional salesperson. When you're out there in the field, you're going to encounter people that are actually interested, right? They're going to be interested, but for one reason or another, you just can't close that same day. It's understandable. We've all been there. I would encourage you to get a piece of paper, write down their business name and some details next to it. And, because what's going to happen is eventually you're going to forget about that business, right? And somebody else is going to hit that door and they're going to close that deal. But if you have a follow-up sheet and you could be systematic and, structured on when you're going to go visit them and talk to them and how far along the sales process they are, you're going to find out that you're going to be closing a lot of follow-ups, right? And if you don't close them, I promise you, Gio, the closer, is going to go in there right after you and close that freaking deal, right? So I am giving you guys game that has helped me become successful in what I do, right? So definitely having a follow-up sheet helps. Let's continue. In addition to a follow-up sheet, having a order sheet, like on the customers you closed, the ones that you closed the deal, writing their business name, and then making sure that they're installing. That's another way to use that follow-up sheet. Does that make sense? So you can have a follow-up sheet, and then you can have an order sheet where you're making sure that on paper you're managing the orders and making sure that they get installed. Because when you see it visually, it makes a difference. Now I know we're short on time, but I'm trying to put some gems in your pocket. Okay. Another thing you could do when you're out there in the field, ask for referrals. I just got hit up by a customer I signed up last week, and because I educated her on the referral program, she is giving my phone number to her friend that is paying $100 a month for internet at home, and she wants a home account with AT&T, right? So asking for referrals is a great way to generate more business, okay? Now let's continue. Another way to maximize your opportunity here is to take notes on these calls, to actually try to learn. Try your hardest to learn and implement the information you're being given out, okay? And lastly, I'll just leave it with this, upsell. Now, what does upsell mean, Gio? It means you increase what you're selling to them. You're upping the sell, right? You can sell cell phones. You guys know that, right? You guys can sell cell phones. Ask them what they have for their cell phone provider, and then, figure out if there's a deal there. That's another way you could actually literally generate more money for yourself. You want a pay raise? That's literally how you do it. Sell more, right? You could ask them for their home. What do you got at home? Are you paying too much at home too? Because I can hook you up there too, right? If you bundle the home and the business, it'll actually be even cheaper, right? Educate them on that. And then lastly, you could ask them for their alarm system, right? Alarm system is something that we're moving towards. We can start selling that stuff. Right now, it's not fully there where we can start training you on, but if you bring a lead to the partner and the partner goes in there and closes the deal, we'll pay you out what a select pays you out. I'm just putting more money in your pocket, ladies and gentlemen. So I'll leave you guys with that. Let's go out there, let's execute on this information. Don't just listen to it, let's act on it. All right, well, thank you for that.
Hey, G, can I add something?
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I just think since we're talking about the subject of maximizing your time out in the field, this might seem like a little cliche, but walk faster. I feel a lot of us are too casual. We go through, we're Mr. Cool, getting out the door, putting on our sunglasses, checking out our phone, checking ourselves out in the mirror, making sure we look good, my mask is on. Just walk faster, man. Walk with a sense of urgency. We're out there to get money. We're not out there to kick back and look cool while walking down the streets, right? Walk faster, hit more doors. The more doors you hit, the more repetition you get. Practice makes perfect, just like anything else.